He looked beyond my fault and saw my need is considered by many to be one of Dottie Rambo's most powerful songs. But the story behind the writing of that tune is even more touching. Dottie had already started working on the tune when she received some tragic news. Her beloved older brother, Eddie, had been diagnosed with cancer, and doctors felt he had little time left.
I'd started on this song, but it didn't have much done. But Eddie, when the doctor told us that he wasn't going to make it, he had 5 children and loved this lady that he was with. And he had told all the family he was married, but I knew he wasn't.
Dottie suggested that Eddie should give his children a name before he died. He agreed and asked Dottie to make the arrangements for a wedding right there in the hospital. Unsure of how much time he had left, Dottie rushed to get everything done. And just a few days later, the ceremony began.
He was so bad that we just put pajamas over him. We couldn't put it on and couldn't pick him up. His wife, when we got to the part, till death do us part, I lost it.
But the struggle wasn't over yet. You see, Dottie knew that her brother had never given his life to God. And before he died, she wanted him to have that peace.
And I'd go out and work and sing, and every Monday when I get home, I'd run out there to see how he was, and he'd say, "Sis, God won't save me. I've been too mean. He won't forgive me." And I said, "Honey, you're the one he came to save, you know. It's the mean ones he loves. You know, it's the sick he came to heal." And, "No, but you don't know what I've done." I said, "I know a lot of what you've done. You've been in prison and jails everywhere and drugs," and I just went on and on. But I said, "That doesn't matter." But he said, "Sis, I just can't. I've prayed, I've tried." And I would pray with him, nothing.
With Eddie constantly on her heart, Dottie went back to working on the song she'd started a few weeks earlier. And the words that had refused to come before began to spill out on the page.
Itself, I think addresses the absolute core of who we are and why we're here. You know, I mean, that's what Jesus did for me. You know, that's what Jesus did for her. That's what Jesus does for everybody that will ask him. He looks past your faults, which are inevitable, and he sees your need, which is equally inevitable.
Dottie finished writing the song while she and the Rambos were on the road singing at a church in Ohio. After the service, Dottie asked the congregation to pray for the salvation of her brother back home, and they didn't waste any time doing it. Within minutes, God's ears were filled with the prayers of the saints, and as usual, he was listening.
The Holy Spirit just let me know right then. It was 11:30. He said, "No, don't worry about Eddie anymore. He's fine. He's fine." And I couldn't wait to get home to tell him.
Dottie drove to the hospital as quickly as she could and rushed into Eddie's room. As she tried to explain everything that had happened, she felt a tug on her hand.
He wanted me to come down close so he could hear me and he could tell me. So he was smiling and he said, "At 11:30 yesterday, I gave my heart to Jesus, and he forgave me." And he said, "Now, I'm not going to be here very much longer, but I want to tell you something." It was so sweet. He said, "When I leave here, I'm going to heaven when I die," he said. I said, "Yes, you are." He said, "But I'm going to stand beside one of those pearly gates, and I'm not going to go in until you get there so we can share heaven together."
Amazing grace shall always be my song of praise, for it was grace that bought my liberty. I do not know just why he ever came to love me so. He looked beyond my faults and saw my needs, and I shall forever lift mine eyes to Calvary to view the cross where Jesus died for me. How marvelous the grace that caught my falling soul. He looked beyond my faults and saw my needs. I shall forever lift mine eyes to Calvary to view that cross where Jesus died for me. How marvelous the grace that caught my falling soul. He looked beyond my faults and saw my needs. He looked beyond my faults and he saw my needs.